So I recently had this encounter with this person in a social group setting where I was trying to explain something that was happening socially in our day-to-day world. And this person immediately cut me off and said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And it was meant to both socially diminish me and to kind of take away any credibility that I might have had in the eyes of the other people, because it was a bit of a pecking order behavior, you know, what they call like a social dominance behavior, a way of saying what you have to say doesn't matter, or it's not important, because I just don't understand it. And I thought, wow, aside from being incredibly disrespectful, that also reveals something that people do sometimes. And what that something is called perfect making. This happens to be a person who's kind of wrapped up in the faulty belief that if they appear to have their shit together all the time, you know, the perfect haircut, the perfect makeup, the perfect outfit, the perfect friends, just the right amount of political correctness. They're in the right political party, whatever it is, right or left, right? Or in between. They believe that if they can just jump through enough hoops socially, that they will be accepted by their peer group. And what ends up happening, what they don't realize, is that they actually just end up betraying their real self and other people who are being true to themselves. And it robs them of having any real connection with anyone socially. And it also robs them from being able to get high on life. Because the only way to get high on life and not have to go use drugs to get your happy chemical needs met, the only way to get high on life is to be open emotionally and socially in the presence of healthy others. People who want to send you messages with their behavior like that you're good and I'm good and we're cool and happy to see you and high five and nice job and you're safe and supported and I acknowledge you and I enjoy being around you and I show you care and whatnot. When you have that kind of rapport with people, it acts as a little bit of a conveyor belt, and you can put these little packages on it and send them to each other in the form of your social behavior. And when the person opens up the package that looks like security, they feel what's inside of that is safety. When they receive the package of acknowledgement, they feel the experience of appreciation. And so you get enough of these good emotional well-being needs met and you start to experience a low-dose euphoria. That's what I call it. But what happens when someone tries to be perfect or appear perfect, and they can never not know something. They can't ever appear wrong or be confused or need to ask a clarifying question because they believe deep down that that would make them look bad or somehow be less than. When actually what it would do is free them from the imprisonment that they've put, the wall they've put around themselves. It would free them from the prison of shame, right? Because if you look up YouTube, Brene Brown, she has videos about vulnerability. And vulnerability means the ability to be open in your social relating with others. It means being able to go out on a limb and having faith that when you be authentically yourself in public, that you'll be well received by healthy others. And if you're not well received, that's really good information to have. It's good to know who around you is not going to receive you well when you're being authentic. I want to know that information so that I can cut them out of my life, because I don't need people around that are toxic and dysfunctional and are going to put up barriers to healthy social relating, right? that's not good for me. It's not good for my child. It's not good for people at work or at school. It's not good for learning. It's not good for anything. It's not good for community. So understand that attempts at perfect making are actually misguided attempts at avoiding vulnerability, risk, the risk of social rejection. They believe that if they try to conform themselves to what the world thinks that they should be, to what the dominant social group in their workplace or in their school or their home life acts like they should be, that somehow is going to help them to be elevated and accepted and to be successful. But what they're confusing is that being successful in an oppressive social environment means sacrificing success as a human being. And people who stay in those type of environments don't make it in the long run, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. They end up giving up on themselves and others and on their goals and dreams. And they reduce themselves in stature and become kind of like a drone, or like, one of those little, like a hive mind, like the Borg. They give up their individuality and their authentic being. Well, so don't let that happen to you. Just be yourself. Don't try to be perfect. It's not about perfect making. It's about being authentic, right? Be flawsome. Embrace your flaws. Be true to yourself. I gotta go. Have a great day and a great life. You're the best.